What's up, guys? Welcome to The Fix. I'm your host, Gabe Marasigan, recording from Solano Community College TV studio. The Fix is where we talk about young adulthood, problems, and how we overcome them and initially fix them. Today, we're going to be talking about mental health and basically the things we faced with it and the strategy we used to overcome it. But first, before we start the discussion, let's meet my co-hosts. To my right, Freewheel Swin. To my left, far left, Karina, Castillon. And to my left, Maya Ferguson. And then I know Maya is going to start off our topic today.
So obviously a huge part of our podcast is the topic of mental health. So our first question for our first ever episode is going to be, what does mental health mean to you? Freewheel, what do you feel like mental health means to you?
I feel like mental health to me would have to be like we all go through it. We always have like type of feelings, anything. We have our ups and downs and stuff. Sometimes it's really down, sometimes it's really high. And sometimes we just need some help from other people. Sometimes we don't want help from other people and just like isolate ourselves. Because that's what I used to do. But like I've opened up a bit more. I've hung out with my friends a bit more, and like makes me open up about like my feelings and stuff. So yeah. What about you, Karina?
I feel like mental health is like overall how you feel, because like, you know, you have your bad days, you have your good days. You know, you have ways of dealing with it, then, you know, other people can help you, but then sometimes, like you said, you don't want other people to help you, and that makes it just that much worse and difficult.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a hard thing to deal with. What do you think, Maya?
I feel like it's weird because like mental health and physical health are both obviously two types of health, but we look at them so differently. Like I feel like mental health is really kind of like so much more like permanent and so much more like withstanding in your day-to-day life than you ever really realize it is. I feel like it's just honestly how you really feel on the inside, whether that be like negative or positive. I think like when little kids like fall and hurt their knee, you know, like everybody makes it a huge deal, but it's like we need to have that same thing with like, oh, I'm just having a really hard day today. Like I can't, like I'm not feeling it, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you, Gabe? How do you feel?
I feel like mental health is like, it's so many different things and there's so many ways you can go through it. It's like, it can really just affect how a person lives their life every single day.
Yeah.
And like the way you said it is like the way we treat physical health to mental health is completely different. Like there's so many cures or so many ways to fix someone's physical health, and there's barely any little ways like to fix someone's mental health. And then like it's always, oh, just deal with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it gets honored. Like when you're like physically hurt, it's like, oh, I broke my arm. But it's like nobody will ever really listen to you if you're like, I just had like 4 panic attacks and I'm not doing well right now.
They actually look down on you.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
they
that
usually,
hot
like,
mess express.
dismiss like how like your emotions are sometimes. I've experienced that sometimes, and I did not really like it.
Yeah.
A crazy thing is when you're going through something physically and people like just baby you, but if you go through something mentally, people start thinking you're crazy for
like,
no reason.
They're like, just don't.
Yeah, just
don't feel like that.
Just
don't feel like it.
And it's terrible.
So what are some things that you feel like personally impact your mental health?
I'd say having helicopter parents, that really affected me a lot, to be honest. Like my parents, they're not helicopter parents anymore, but they used to be very hovering during like my middle school and elementary phase, and they used to like not let me go out, not make me make mistakes. They really did not like let me grow as like a human and stuff. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to like deal with my emotions. I don't know how to talk to somebody when I need help and stuff. Helicopter parenting is a big deal. It really affects your young adulthood and stuff. With like example me. So
and I feel like when you like depend on your parents so much, like when you grow up, like for me, I depended on my parents like a lot too much. So then once I like left high school, went to college, I'm like, oh, what do I do now? Like, I don't know. I always need help with something. I'm like, oh, am I doing this wrong? It's just helicopter parenting. It causes some
type of like mental
Yeah.
problems sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I understand the good coming from it, like,
Yeah, like
worrying
they-
about your
Yeah.
kid and helping them out a
Yeah,
lot.
I think
definitely.
that
But there's
they're doing
like
good.
yeah,
and
there's
stuff.
doing good and then there's overdoing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Like-
sure.
Definitely.
Like the line is thin.
Yeah.
Like my parents would
Yeah.
like example like with school, my parents would help me with my schoolwork and my homework.
Yeah.
But then there's some parents who literally do the homework and schoolwork
I
for
wish.
their kids.
I
Yeah.
wish so bad.
Imagine.
I had like one parent that was like really chill, like a lot more on like the communicative side, and like I was really obviously still am pretty close with her. But like my dad was like the biggest helicopter parent I've ever met. I got my phone taken at 9 p.m. every night until I was 14 years old. Like he would
That's
take my
crazy.
friends' phones, like it was just
Whoa.
crazy. And I literally like it was so bad. Freshman year me was like suffering because I was like I have no social life, I have no friends. None of my friends want to come to my house. My dad is crazy, and I was just like, what do I do? Like what am I supposed to do? Because like you said, we really do
Yeah.
rely on them for everything.
We do.
Yeah.
And then once they're gone, you're like, oh well.
Like I can't. I
Now
don't
what?
know what to do
Yeah,
with
I
my
know.
life.
I don't know what
I
to do
need.
with my
I
life.
need them now.
Yeah.
I really need them.
Like that structure almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like. Yeah.
It's like there's so many things once you enter out of high school and go into college life and enter young adulthood initially.
Mhm.
It's like you got bills to pay, you got how you're gonna feed yourself, how you gotta get to school, and like just some people's parents just like they just leave them,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
there's some who still keep babying them and babying them.
Yeah.
Usually, a lot of people say it's because people are only childs, but I'm not even an only child, and I still got
You still-
some helicopter parenting. Yeah.
That's understandable.
I almost feel like the more children you have, like there's like one kid that like every parent just harps on like way too hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's just that one that's always gonna get like the like brunt end of the stick no matter
That is
what.
definitely true.
Yeah.
So
Like,
parents say they don't have a favorite, but I swear sometimes they do. I swear they do
My parents
sometimes.
even-
I'm
admitted that to
definitely
me
not the
too, so I
favorite.
don't even care.
I'm the middle child.
I'm the middle child too.
I would love to be the middle child. I said that one time and everybody laughed at me.
So, yeah.
Gabe, what do you feel like something else that had a large impact on your mental health was?
All right. Social media is literally crazy when it comes
Take
to
it away.
mental health.
Definitely.
Like, there's so many things you gotta worry about as a young adult or even as a teenager growing up with it. Like stuff like apps like Instagram, Snapchat, even YouTube or TikTok nowadays. It just drives people crazy. Like there's cyberbullying. There's I know like my sister. She had to worry about growing up like, oh, how many likes did her post get? Who commented on
Yeah.
it? Who liked her comments? Is it okay to like this person's post? Stuff like that, I just feel like it's like such a big deal in people's lives nowadays, and so many people go through hardships through it.
Definitely.
Like
1000%.
a lot of people go through depression because of social media. A lot of people like
Our self-image
Yeah.
is
Self-image
very
is a-
damaged.
Yeah,
because
for
of
sure.
it.
Big one.
And not to mention just like the like comparativeness of social
Yeah.
media, like the people that we look at and like we're like, oh my god, that person is so beautiful. Like that's not what you look like. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
you pay like $30 to edit all your pictures. You
was
pay
gonna
like
say.
thousands of
Some
dollars for your
people get,
makeup.
like, body
Most of the time
dysmorphia
it's very
just because of it.
unrealistic.
Yeah, and like even like the body dysmorphia part of like just in general, like
Like girls, or I mean women,
Yeah.
like comparing themselves to like Instagram models.
yeah, like Kylie Jenner and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'm like
Yeah.
that's not what that person looks like. Like if they didn't have all that, there would be nothing that you would feel insecure compared to them about.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, for sure.
Like they like plastic surgery.
Mhm.
'Cause some people like want plastic surgery to like look the best and stuff. Like I like you do whatever you do want to do with your body, but I feel that's like an iffy thing
Yeah.
for me.
it's just like a bunch of lies. Social media just brings a bunch of
Yeah,
lies and
yeah.
like mistruths. Like I understand the good part of it. Like for social media, like it's fun, it's entertaining. Sometimes it's like nowadays I use it for like news. Like I know what's going on in the world because of social media.
Definitely.
But
yeah.
see, that's another
That's
thing.
another
like
thing,
the
'cause false
indoctrination.
news and
Yeah,
stuff
like
like
the
that.
way
Yeah,
so
too.
many kids have turned out to be like white supremacists and stuff like that. Because like the YouTubers they watch, it's like so crazy that like that's what we
Like
have to like keep an eye out for.
Or like
you
they
know?
become such a big fan
Yeah.
of one person, and that one person does something so wrong, and they still defend them.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
so crazy.
It's always good and bad.
Yeah.
There's always two sides.
I feel like it's just hard to have
definitely.
positive interaction, like positive, meaningful interactions on social media. Like it's
Definitely.
rare that I meet somebody that I'm like, this is cool, and I met them on Instagram. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met someone on Instagram.
really.
I-
I used to have hella internet friends.
Really?
Hecka,
Mhm.
sorry. Yeah.
And then
I don't think I've had any
really.
from like
Never.
Instagram,
Yeah,
but
me
like
either,
from
actually.
other different social media stuff. From other social media stuff, yeah. But like they're honestly sometimes the people that you meet online really help you with like your mental health and stuff
Yes.
because if they're like a lot of states away or like across the globe, they like feel what you're feeling sometimes. Like they're empathic. Like you could like talk to them for like days and days and like feel like that. Like you've known them for like almost years, like your whole life.
I feel like it's like a lot easier over social media because like you don't have to have that vulnerability. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like having this conversation with somebody in real life is like so much more like, I'm gonna start crying right now. When you're texting, you're like, let me just get this off my chest real quick while we're dropping info, you know?
Like ranting towards like not random people, but like people online will like help you as well.
Yeah, for real. I agree.
But would you see that as like a really good thing or like something that's kind of concerning because you're initially like just talking about your problems to like almost a complete stranger? Obviously, like if you've been talking to them for years, not a stranger anymore, but someone you've never met actually in real life compared to like, let's say you take your mental health problems to like your friends or your family, like which one do you think is like more easier, or like do you think it's like affecting kind of, if you know what I mean?
I feel like it's like if you rant to your friends that you know like in real life, like in person, I feel like you would feel like you are being judged.
Yeah.
Like for expressing yourself.
Or like the chance of just like it getting around. Like I don't know if this is just me. I'm like super weird about who I talk to my feelings about because it's like I would rather just like not have people view me that way.
Yeah.
So it's like if I like risk like, oh, I'm gonna go tell my friend I had a terrible day today and tell her all the details, and then she goes and tells all my friends, it's like, well, that's awkward. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
told only you.
Yeah,
and
like-
you're just spreading it everywhere
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I guess it's like in the long run, the problem is that like mental health is seen as like an issue, or like being upset is seen as like a bad thing. But it's
Yeah.
just like
It's just
scary.
that stigma
like,
right there.
Yeah,
That stigma is just we just gotta like repaint the whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to though.
It
It
takes
is.
like, it's just also like the stuff that social media has led to, like it also brings in like laziness people go through because like social media, like I guess you kind of could consider it, it's like it's changed how like everyone sees the world. Like you see now, like you can do online shopping,
Like
people don't go to
increased
actual shopping. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
exactly, just
1000%.
like that.
Just in everyday life too. Like the fact that we look at like millions and millions of videos a day, that's not normal.
It's crazy.
That is-
That's not normal. Like that's not normal for your brain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's like my parents used to say how like there was only like MySpace or Facebook, and now there's like so many multiple social
everything.
medias, and I've never even logged into a MySpace. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys.
You have one?
No.
Oh.
That's why I never logged into
Oh,
it.
yeah, I was gonna say,
I have
logged in.
Facebook, but I don't even
Yeah.
use it.
I have like 5 Facebook accounts because I forget all the passwords, and then my grandma's like, "Is this your Facebook?" And I'm like, "It's one of them."
That's another thing.
One of them.
Like in terms of like social media, is people have multiple accounts, and there's accounts where like people like bully or like talk shit about people, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, true.
It's like,
Sisters are the devil.
I've experienced cyberbullying like in middle school, cause like you know how like Musically was a thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, there was like a group of like people from
did
my
your little dancey dance?
from my school. I was doing like a little like that.
Period.
I was doing that and stuff, and I guess they reposted it on like their Instagram page, saying like, "Oh my God, something, he's fat," and then yeah, but like it's okay. It like gives me character now.
No, but like that's what I'm saying though. Like that shouldn't have to be character, because it's like I got in trouble when I was little for cyberbullying. Like I got suspended from school because I was a cyberbully. But let me give you a background story. That girl was so mean to me first, and I was just the one who got snitched on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in that situation, I would have responded back and been like, "Well, you're ugly and you're dumb, so take that." I'm eating this TikTok up,
But like
bro.
at least I know who they were, and like I don't mess with those people.
Yeah, but like you didn't deserve that experience.
I
It's not
didn't
fair.
deserve it, but like
Frick
it's
them.
it's in the past now. I just have to learn from it, like and that's why I don't post on TikTok.
I honestly wish you did post TikToks. I would thoroughly enjoy it. I love posting on TikTok. Everybody from school makes fun of me. I never gave a damn.
What?
I just think, you're gonna get roasted for everything you do. Like, you might as well live your life.
Yeah,
Truly
just people-
enjoy it.
people in
Really
general are
live
just
once.
really
I mean,
judgmental
come on,
and
really
stuff.
live once.
It's
And I feel like
just-
social media
Preparation.
perpetuates that, like, there's like the hater vibe that's like deep within everything.
Definitely. I don't know. In this society, we can't really just open up, I guess, on
Yeah.
social media, or else you're just gonna be judged.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but it's kind of cringe though. Like,
It is
you know when
crazy.
people like post those like heartfelt Instagram captions?
Another big thing with like the social media is, I don't know if you guys ever went through it. Have you guys ever went through like have like a relationship where your relationship is just social media? Like you guys just talk straight through social media, and then when you guys are in person, you guys just never talk to each other?
No, I actually almost
I've
have that
never been in
exact
a
opposite
relationship.
problem.
Really?
Never been
Yeah.
in a relationship, man.
I do not live on the internet. I feel like if anything, the internet is deceiving.
Mhm,
That's true.
Definitely.
I feel like a lot of time though with relationships, like I do know what you're talking about. Like I see it. I'm like, do you guys even like each other, or do you just like the idea of like having a partner for pictures?
Exactly,
You know?
and that can affect a lot of people in this world. Like,
Oh yeah.
we get like, let's get into that actually. Like, let's do it.
Take it away.
So like, one thing about like my past relationships is like those are the things that like majorly affected my mental health. Like a lot. Like I'd say those were the biggest hits because it's just like there's so many like mistruths that I went through, so many lies, and it's just like it affected me so much to a point where it's like it hurt my trust issues with people around me. Like I was talking to this person for like a cool, I think like 4 months, and then we officially started dating, and then like 2 months after we broke up because it just like didn't work out.
6 months down the drain.
6 months down the drain, just because she liked the idea of it so much, but once she actually had to commit, it just went down. And I was like, I trusted you so much with so many things, I told you so many things, and now it's just all down the drain, and now you could go tell other people. And then I started like mistrusting my friends, my family, and just distancing myself from so many people, and it like just really affected me. And like I'd say like one of the big ways like I like got through it is this like I kind of just really thought about it. I cut a lot of people off and decided who I really wanted to trust and like talk to, and then I brought myself back into life apparently, or like initially, and then just worked my way from there. Any of you guys had to go through relationships that affect your mental health? Any rough spots?
I just think, you know, getting cheated on every time will do it to you. Like 10 out of 10.
It would do it to you, I think.
It's
Whoever
kind of
had to
hard
go
to get
through
over.
that's crazy.
No, it's kind of hard to get over. That's
Definitely.
Why are you saying whoever had to go through that,
Like-
Gabe? You had to go through that.
A little bit.
That's how like a lot of people like have like a lot of trust issues just because of like the relationships they've been through.
Oh my gosh, guys, stories. I actually have a great example story for this. It's not even mine. It's actually one of my ex-boyfriends.
Oh.
So my ex-boyfriend that I dated for like a year, after me started dating like the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Hands down, 10 out of 10. I'll put that on God. Like blonde, like 6 feet tall. Very bad. Anyways, he and her dated for about a year and a half, and then out of nowhere he started getting really weird and cheated on her, 2 girls, one night. Yeah,
What?
totally craziness, totally crazy. Wait, it gets better. This is actually how it's gonna tie back in. When she found out about it and asked him, he said that he felt like the pressures of social media and rap music were the reason that he felt like he needed to cheat on his girlfriend of a year and a half. And like just getting back to like Gabe's point, I feel like so many people get so enthralled with this like just like this kind of like vibe on social media, like this essence that people give off, but it's also like you need to like watch this person for a straight up 24 hours in a day and realize nothing that they do is like ever going to be productive or helpful to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you look so cool on a phone, but like in real life you're a bum. Like you don't have any money, you don't have a job, you steal stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I just feel like it's very interesting to me the way that like people struggle with that. Like they just can't see through the smoke and mirrors, I guess, per se.
Going back on mental health, like what are the ways that you guys deal with it? Like what helps with like all this anxiety,
how we
stress?
cope with it?
Yeah, how do you
Okay.
cope with it?
Me, okay. I usually just cope by like isolating myself. Like I shouldn't
Isolating. That's
I shouldn't really like isolate myself, but like I feel the need to like do it just because I don't want to like experience other people's like not nagging, but like them talking to me like, oh, it's okay to feel like this, blah blah blah. Like what happens if I don't want to hear that from you? You know?
Yeah.
Just like taking time to process it on your own. I understand
definitely.
What about you, Maya?
Oh, I was gonna ask you. I also feel like I used to struggle really bad with like isolating and like depriving
that's a
myself of
big
like
one.
social interaction. But I definitely feel like as I've gotten like a little bit older and like emerged through young adulthood, definitely throughout my teenage years, I just realized how much more helpful it is to like really just like get it off your chest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's such this like huge stigma about just like talking because
Like ranting to like somebody.
yeah, but even if it's somebody, like, even if it's, like, the person who directly caused you your problem, like, I'm letting you know, like, I'm mad at you, but, like, you're upsetting me. Like, that hurt my feelings. That didn't make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like once I started taking that, like, into my day-to-day life, I noticed, like, a huge difference in, like, how I felt, like, almost instantly. Because I'd be, like, freaking out. And before, I would just be like, I can't say anything. And then I would be freaking out and be like, oh, guys, like, this is really making me nervous. And all my friends would be like, oh, actually, like, me too. We can help you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel like really opening up, like, putting yourself out there.
Yeah, sometimes friends will like help you like cope with like how you feel and stuff with your mental health. Like with you guys, like I feel better about like being social because like, you know, I had social anxiety.
I was about to say that too. Like, although all I want to do is isolate myself and like be by myself, I know that if I surround myself with people that make me like comfortable or like, I don't know, just good energy,
Positive
I feel like
vibes.
that
Positive,
helps a
yeah.
lot more than isolating. Because then you just stay there and you just think about it even more and more and
And
more.
like the energy just like
Yeah, and you just like
grows, and,
streak
like,
and you're like, oh, I
like, it,
don't
like,
like
compacts
this.
Like
into you.
ruminating, like you
Yeah.
literally just sit there like going through the same thing.
and like
Yes.
the vibe in like your isolated room or something is just like,
But it's like crazy because like even your mom coming in and being like, oh, we're making this for dinner. You're like, oh, actually, like I feel way better right now. I'd probably feel better if I actually went out there and talked.
Yeah.
But I can't. I won't. So
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like one of the key points of like mental health is like a lot of people miscommunicate, so no one actually knows how to fix it. If you just like open up and talk to your problems to somebody that you trust or someone that you feel like talking to, like friends or family
Yeah.
or just anybody, like you can solve it. Like you just have to communicate. Like obviously there's a lot of different ways, like obviously like isolating or just like doing stuff that you really enjoy, like listening to music, or playing sports, something like that. And it's
Definitely
just-
on like music. Music really
Music.
Oh
helps.
yeah,
For real.
yeah, music helps a
Definitely.
lot.
Something about music,
It just like gives you that energy that
So
you like
good.
need
Yeah.
and stuff.
also I just love that it's like, wow, somebody else has literally gone through this. You know, like somebody also had to like write this. Think of words that rhymed with each other to write this song. Like,
Yeah.
I can't. Gabe, you were saying something just now that was like really important to me, and I was gonna tie like a.
What, miscommunication?
Okay, that's another thing. I feel like acknowledging that not all problems can be solved is also like a huge part in coping with your mental health. Because it's like I feel like I used to just so hyper fixate on these things that were just so out of my control. Like it wouldn't even be in my control if I wanted it to be, you know?
Yeah.
And then I would be like, well, I'm having such a hard time with this, and it's making me so mad. But it's like the things that I do have full control over, I wasn't investing any time or energy into. So I feel like also just like knowing in general, like not everything is really my problem to solve, really does help.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. Well, that's pretty much everything, guys.
Pretty much.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been The Fix. Hope to see you guys. Watch further episodes. Have a great day. See you next time.
Intro.
The exponential growth from the program from my first year to my third year now, that's what keeps me coming back and keeps me excited and just like fulfills me as a person.
It's so impressive, and we every time we walk in here, you guys are doing something different. It's great. It's
Nothing but opportunities here, and we have sports to cover, we have the equipment.
Because the more ambitious you are, the more opportunities you'll have.
on-the-job training is huge.
Get the hands-on experience.
When someone asks who can do it, you know, you can raise your hand and say, I can do it, so.
Joining the class was the best decision I ever made.
Stand by, we're going to go to cut one. And cut one. Cross court to Audrey Jones. Audrey for three! It is good! With 1.3 seconds left on the game clock, Audrey Jones with one of the biggest shots ever.
The sky's the limit, really, with what we can do here.
College just got affordable. Up to 100% of enrollment fees can be reimbursed for first-time college students taking full-time classes. At Solano Community College, we are taking full advantage of this to further your future. With certificate and degree programs in industrial technology, aeronautics, biotechnology, and many others, Solano Community College is a staple for success. For more information, please contact the Financial Aid Office at 707-864-7000.